Hey everyone, we're moving to distance learning, so I thought the best way for us to do that would be I'll do a couple of quick lectures here, and then when we're together, we can answer specific questions you might have or just enjoy each other's company. Um, I know this is a hard time for everyone, so really our goal for when we are together is just that, to be together and to still feel connected to the community. I'm super hopeful that this unit will go pretty smoothly because it's still trig, which we've spent a lot of time doing. In particular, it's just triangles, and so triangles we've known for a long time. Hopefully, don't feel that bad about. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with this particular lecture. And my recommendation will be, I'm going to go kind of slowly, and at times I'm going to ask you to just stop and think. But you might want to pause the video on occasion, make sure things make sense to you, maybe play some things back, and see how you're feeling about it, rather than just listening and doing nothing else. So there are a couple of things that we know about triangles, and one of those things is area. So today, that's going to be our focus. We're going to talk about the area of a triangle. Area of a triangle. How's that? That's not so bad. So how do we find the area of a triangle? Hopefully, you know. Area is 1/2 base height. No problem. Everyone's feeling good. But sometimes a problem does show up in that we don't know what the height of a triangle is, and we have to try to figure that out. So imagine for a moment that I have this nice triangle here. Now, for the purposes of our first exercise, I'll call this triangle A, B, C. You can understand why this might not be great, because we use A for area, and then using A for a vertex name seems not as good. So I'm going to use ABC just because your textbook does, and our formula that we're going to see is going to be in terms of A, B, and C. Okay. So I want to find the area of this triangle. Well, first I'm going to label the other parts of the triangle that I know. Remember, this is little b, this is little c, that's little a. Across from the capital letter is the lowercase letter. Great. So now I know, based on the orientation here, b is my base. So I need to figure out what my height is, and to do that, I'll drop a nice little altitude there. I'll call this height h. Now, if I knew h, I'd be all set. I'd be in business. But sometimes we'll get a triangle, and I'll tell you something like, oh, the sides are 3, 8, and 11. Nope, that's not a triangle. 3, 8, and 10, and ask you to find the area. And so you could do that, I have no doubt. But we're going to try to figure out a nice formula to do it a little bit faster. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to write h in terms of things that maybe I already know. So let's see here. If I happen to know this angle, then I know that sine of A is h over c. And this just harkens back to remembering, oh yeah, this is a right triangle that I've formed now, and trig works in right triangles really, really well, even if it doesn't work quite as well in non-right triangles. So if I know that, then I can solve for h without too much trouble. Right here, h should be c times sine of a. Wonderful. Now I know h, b was my base, c sine a is my height. So my area is going to be 1/2 BC sine A. There it is. No problem. Now, again, the lettering is not great, right? Because B here means side B, not necessarily base. C means side C, and A means the angle A. Again, I framed this originally by saying, oh yeah, My base here, based on orientation, is this one. But I could have dropped any altitude and considered any base. So what if we dropped a different altitude besides this one? Would things work out the same way? Um, well, they won't work out exactly the same way, but they'll be quite similar. So remember, to drop an altitude, we connect a vertex to the opposite side at a right angle. That's our goal here. So imagine I wanted to drop an altitude from A to side A. There we go, there's my nice altitude. In this case, this would still be considered the height, but now A would be considered the base. And I can go through and do exactly the same thing as I did last time. Right, here's C. I know that sine of C is H over B. So I know that H is B sine C. And that would make my area 1/2. Again, A is the base this time. AB sine C. Just another way to write the area. We should have 3 ways because we have 3 different altitudes here, and perhaps you can guess the third way. If one way is 1/2 AB sine C, the next way is 1/2 BC sine A, it stands to reason that the third way would be 1/2 AC sine B. Those are our 3 ways to write area. All 3 letters get used exactly once, and if you'll notice, it's 2 sides and the included angle between them. So from here, we can try to solve a bunch of different problems, like I give you a triangle, you find the area. I give you an area, you try to tell me parts about the triangle, things like that. But I'll leave those as exercises for you to try. Good luck.